In today's episode of the Platform Presents podcast, I have a very interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Ben Foster, and he's heading over from the folks over at SEO Works. They're digital growth experts and help your company to basically get more customers online. That's what it's all about. And looking forward to talk growth with Ben today. So welcome to the show.
Hi, glad to be here. Thanks.
Sure. So maybe give people like a brief overview. What is SEO Works all about in your own words?
Of course, yeah. So like you said, we're digital growth experts. Our mission is to help our clients grow online. Simple as that, really. We've been in the industry for around about 15 years, which is a long time, I suppose, in digital and in agency sort of time. And over that time, we've grown to become one of the leading search marketing companies in the UK with clients all across the globe. And yeah, I suppose we're not a fluffy marketing agency. We're a very ROI-focused marketing agency. It's what motivates us to help our clients grow. We've won lots of awards for our work over the years, lots of great client reviews. So we kind of know our stuff. And I suppose we're not just about results, I'm very conscious it's a service-led business. So the people are what makes it. So really we're focused massively on a strong working culture that gives opportunities for learning, growth, and a positive and respectful environment for everyone who works here as well is really important.
Very cool. So maybe share with us, what are the types of organizations you're working with?
We describe the clients we work with as either leading brands, so people big brands you've heard of, or prospering SMEs. So SMEs, probably not the smaller size, probably more medium-sized SMEs who you may never have heard of them, but they're doing exceptionally well in their own rights. They understand the value of marketing. They've got budget to invest, and they just want to work with the best, really. In terms of sectors, obviously the work we do, digital's relevant to all sectors now. Show me one industry where it's not. But I suppose we have key pools of clients we work with. We can work with any, but some of our key areas are education, health, manufacturing, professional services, and also e-commerce. We've got quite a broad sector there, and ultimately people will come to us because they need more exposure or more growth. They may have worked with an agency before, they might not have seen results they're expecting. They may just be growing rapidly themselves and they've been doing it in-house, but they need some external support to take it to the next level, really. And we don't just offer SEO. Obviously, our name is the SEO Works. That's where we started. But, over the 15 years, we've really broadened now our service range to include anything that helps digital growth. So, digital PR, paid search, paid social. We also have a web team who builds SEO-focused websites for clients as well. And I suppose, depending on the client's needs and budget, they'll take out one or more of the services we offer.
Yes, very good. Now, how do these people learn about SEO Works, I should say?
It's a range of channels, really. Historically, it's always been through organic search. We started out with SEO, and we've invested over those 14, 15 years, lots of time into our own SEO. And we've got great rankings, across, lots of different phrases. But ever since I sort of led the SEO Works, I always wanted to bring in a marketing manager to broaden that range, really. And near the end of 2020, we did do. I think having someone dedicated to marketing has had a huge impact on the breadth of places we get leads from. Over time, we've grown our other acquisition channels. LinkedIn's huge for us, paid search, and also directories, marketplaces where people are searching for B2B providers, really, and looking for reviews. We've got a huge organic following on LinkedIn. We've dedicated a lot of time into that platform because it's a B2B platform, and we do a lot of stuff showing our expertise, free guides, webinars, white papers, that you name it. We've got information out there, and it gets great engagement. We've grown to over 20,000 followers on LinkedIn, which is hugely ahead of a lot of our peers. So now sort of lead acquisition comes from lots of channels, organic, paid. We do events and things like this, raising our brand and our profile, really.
Very cool. Now, how do you think about the website? I mean, I'm always curious to learn about sort of, how marketers think about their own page. Like, what's your thoughts on SEO Works? Like, what role does it play in the journey? And, what's your take on it?
Yeah, it's super important, the website. It's where most of our conversions happen. We do have off-site forums for ads and things like that, but ultimately on-site tends to work best. And we've experimented with creating dedicated landing pages from ads and also dropping people into the site itself in the navigation, etc. And actually, we've probably found it works better placing people into the site journey so that they can explore and see more about us and see our expertise really. But ultimately, the site needs to tell a story. It needs to do a lot of work showing our expertise, showing that we're digital growth experts. We've got lots of case studies on there, lots of free resources, big up on the reviews, lots of value add content on there. And we spend a lot of time on making sure it's optimized, speed, etc. Yeah, we're focused on that, and we've got a dedicated SEO manager who works on the site every month. You're making sure it's up to date and making sure everything's being refreshed and working as it should be. But the site's always a work in progress, really. It's been a while, I think, since it was last refreshed, and we've got some big plans in place to update the homepage. It's probably a couple of years since that got looked at. But it is a high performing machine, really. But I think one area I'd like to do more with is video. Video assets, I think, can add a lot of impact to websites if used in the right way. So that's one area we want to build on, really.
Very cool. Now, tell me a little bit about your role. Like, what is? I want to switch gears a bit, right? Move away a bit from growth, but talk about like what you're up to, sort of in a daily business. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I suppose I'm a CEO, so I'm kind of responsible for the overall success of the business, the vision, the mission, the overall strategy. Ultimately, it's not really about me. It's about the team. I always say this. They're the people who lead and deliver on everything, really. We focus big on culture. Transparency, ownership, responsibility, and people are encouraged to be in control of their own time and their responsibilities. A day to day, you see me in the numbers. I'm focusing on cash flow, clients won, clients lost, etc. Seeing how business is performing. I also look externally at the wider industry, see what the competitors are up to, see the latest trends emerging. Working with the leadership team on strategy or any live issues we need to focus on. And also, I suppose I do quite a bit of work acting as the face of the company for things like this, interviews, podcasts, that kind of stuff. And I think, I continue to want to champion the values of the company. It's important we're built on values, and we want to celebrate our values drive adaptability, passion, integrity, loyalty, through celebrating when these values are demonstrated, really, because they're really important to maintaining our culture.
Very cool. Now, I'll have some rapid fire questions for you. Are you ready for those?
Yeah.
Very good. What would be the last book that you read?
So the last book I read, I read books for work and books for fun. So the last book for fun I read was something called North Wind by J.D. Kirk, which is like a Scottish version of Jack Reacher, crime thriller. The last book I read for work was called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, which really gives you perspective. It's about this guy who survived the Holocaust and his experiences through that, and it teaches you no matter what challenges you're going through in life, there's always someone who's struggling, more than you, and someone's doing better than you, and it really gives you a focus on purpose and having purpose in your life to achieve great things.
Very cool. If you would have a magic wand and you could wave it and fix one thing for your role as a marketer, what would that be? What's the one thing you would change?
It's quite a tricky one. This, I think, one thing challenge we still experience as marketers is conversion attribution. So looking at full funnel conversion attribution, you use each platform and it all tells you that they're the best and they've got the conversion basically. But determining the precise value where in that funnel each channel's contributed is still quite hard. And I think there's a lot of platforms that do it, but they're more enterprise level. They're not affordable for many companies. But if you could just click your fingers and get, full attribution for every kind of marketing channel you're doing, that would be amazing. I think we're still, as marketers, even though we've got a lot of data, we still have to make a lot of assumptions, leaps of faith in what we do sometimes.
Very cool. What's the one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
I suppose one thing that's continual is recruitment. We're a growing company, and we want to recruit the best minds out there. So, we're always on in terms of recruitment, even if we're not actually got an open role. We've got an always on philosophy in terms of trying to interview people and bring them in, as the business grows, really. And that's really important, rather than being reactive to it. We've got a continual pipeline of talent to bring in and welcome into the business.
Very cool. And the very last question is, today would be your first day as a marketer. What would be, you're joining your career as a marketer, what's the one advice you would give yourself?
It's I suppose there's a lot of advice you could give. I suppose when I started out in marketing, I started as a web designer. It was before even Google Analytics existed. It was back in sort of around about 2000. So we're making changes to the website based on guesswork, really. There wasn't any data there. We then invested in web trends, which was really hard to access the data, and it was locally stored. I actually ended up deleting the entire database, which wasn't a high point of my career. But I suppose if you're starting now, like Google Analytics has made things so much easier to understand, and we're now with GA4, we're kind of relearning it from scratch again, right? So I think as a new person into the industry, if you can become the expert in GA4, you're going to add a great load of value to that business. And if you can speak to your bosses or higher ups in terms of the pounds that your marketing efforts are making, and that can really demonstrate your impact. So I think learn GA4, that would be one piece of advice. And I think the rest of the thing is for me, it's about working hard and having the right attitude. And if you do that consistently, opportunities will come along, which will help you grow and develop. And you'll be a bit patient with things, but, just come with the right attitude and always focus on working hard and learn from your mistakes, reflect on those mistakes you've made and learn from them, because every mistake is good as long as you can learn something from it.
Awesome. Very, very good. And I appreciate you joining us today for the Pathing Presents podcast. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed, what's the one thing that people should remember about SEO Works?
If you want to grow online, come to the SEO Works. We'll give you a free audit and tell you how you can do it yourself or we can help.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathing Presents.
Thank you.